Alright guys, here's the last of the 3 items, which is my herbed potatoes. I'm just cutting up my potatoes. I have white potatoes, the Korean sweet potatoes, purple potatoes, and red potatoes. So I'm just going to cube those. I'm going to do the fast method tonight, which just entails me pre-cooking these just by boiling them with some spices and some shallots, and then I'm going to roast them or bake them. So I'm just cutting these into cubes, and I'm going to go ahead. I actually soaked these overnight because if you remember, I was marinating my chicken. So I covered these in cold water and put it in the fridge, and then I just drained them out, and now I am seasoning with some thyme and some salt, not too much, about a half teaspoon of thyme and a half teaspoon or 1 teaspoon of salt. And then I threw in my chopped shallots. I have about 3 shallots chopped there. And then I just poured some boiling water over them, and I boiled them for about 10 or so minutes. I didn't want them to be completely cooked because they're still going in the oven, but they were almost there. This is a fast way to do this. So I turned that on, let it boil and cook, like I said, for about 10 or so minutes. And then I went over to make my herb infused oil, which was just 3 tablespoons of coconut oil. I pressed in 2 cloves of garlic and threw in some rosemary and thyme from my garden. And then I just cooked that for about 2 minutes, covered, so that my oil got infused. And then I poured that into a bowl, set it aside, ready for when my potatoes were cooked. There it is. Alright, and then I drained out my potatoes into a baking dish, just to go get them ready to go in the oven. I seasoned them with some salt because I actually tasted them and they weren't salted enough, so I added some salt and some black pepper, just sprinkled all over the potatoes. Good. And then I got my oil and poured that in over the potatoes along with the herbs, and then I just scraped all of that yumminess out of the bowl, none left behind, and then just tossed it together, herbs and all, and it went into the oven. And I baked that for about 15 minutes. As you can see, all 3 items are now in the oven. I sort of timed it perfectly. And there's our dinner again, guys. Give this a shot. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.